Hey everybody, and welcome back to Optimist Overland and the final video of my trip to Winter Wonderland at Windrock. Today is wrenching day for me to try to fix the tie rod and the steering stabilizers on my truck that I damaged last time. So here I'm disassembling everything to see if I can get that black bracket off and see if I can get it bent back flat so that I can reassemble everything and at least get the truck home. Alright, so we got everything disassembled, as you can see, and I was able to find somebody who was very nice, very willing to help, who had a blowtorch, and he was able to pull this plate back to mostly straight. Definitely as straight as definitely straight enough so I can get home, so that I can reassemble the steering stabilizers. Now, what I found after I took everything apart was you can see where the rock hit the stabilizer right there. You can see it's pretty dented right there. There is some denting here on the other stabilizer. Not very much. It's actually really hard to see. But this stabilizer, however, you can see is pretty dented on the casing. And I thought to myself, oh, that's going to limit my steering, because for sure the piston will bind up on the inside of that casing. But what I discovered was this cylinder actually moves. It's just a stabilizer, so it's basically just a shock, an oil-filled shock. And as you can see, I'm able to push it. It's not... Obviously, it's giving me resistance. That's what it's designed to do, so that you don't get a wobble in your steering at high speed. But it pushes all the way to the end of its travel without any binding. So the piston is not binding on the damage there. And as you can see here, I'm pulling the shock all the way out, and the piston should already be past the damage point now, and I can pull it all the way through its full range of travel with no resistance, or not no resistance, but no additional resistance, no binding or anything like that, which I thought was surprising. You know, sometimes people, rail on cheap parts or whatever, but these are rough country parts, made in China, and it took the full force of a rock and all of the inertia behind a fully loaded F-250, and that was traveling around 5 to 7 miles an hour, and stopped the vehicle in less than a foot, and it still works. So that's amazing. After working on the truck for a little while, I decided to take a lunch break and go visit the chili cook-off that was happening at the pavilion. Lots of great chilies to try, and it was really awesome. I also got to attend an off-road recovery seminar about kinetic recovery given by Mike and Sarah Morrison of Morrison Outdoor Adventures. If you don't know who these people are, you should go check them out online. If you want to learn how to off-road and off-road safely, these are the people to check out.
Method of recovery there is.
So it looks like I will have to bend this tie rod a little bit, because it was pointed out to me that the bar is interfering with this mount as I turn. So this bar needs to be out and, preferably down. We're probably not going to get down right now. But one of the guys is going to use his winch to help me bend that back a little bit, and then we'll go from there. After some help from Marcos Tacoma and his winch, as well as some guidance from Caesar, we were able to bend the tie rod back to where it needed to be so that it didn't interfere with anything, and the steering stabilizers could be reassembled as normal. So it's off that piece now. Thanks, Caesar. Alright, so you can see the tie rod is bent back, so it's not interfering with that anymore. And it's much closer to what it was normally, so I'm just going to tighten everything up, reassemble, and just enough to get it home. I'm definitely going to buy another tie rod and replace the tie rod once I get home, because I don't want to be running a tie rod that's, you know, curved and whatever. So the best thing is just to replace the part and make sure get a good strong one, and then be good to go. But just to get it home, and yeah, so that's the plan now. Just reassemble everything. All right, so we got everything put back together, and everything's tightened up. Everything looks good, so we should be able to at least get home. And that's the plan. Thanks for following along with me at Winter Wonderland at Windrock. So if you want to see more of Super Blue out on the trails and see what kind of fun we can get into, off-roading, overlanding, that kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications, the bell icon, and if you like the video, then hit the like button. It really helps me out. I'm just starting out with this whole YouTube thing, so it's very new to me. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for following along. After I wrapped up working on the truck, I treated myself to a nice dinner before getting into the tent before the snowstorm, and early in the morning trying to get the truck started in really cold temperatures. Here's the real question. Will she start? It is snowing outside. It's, I think, in the 20s. After cycling the glow plugs a couple of times, it was time for the real test to see if this 6-liter Power Stroke would start. Look at that! She started up the first try. Looks like I did need that tent more than I needed a AAA membership. So after I got everything packed up, it was time to head down to the general store one more time to meet up with Sean and the rest of the participants who hadn't left yet, as we were all invited to come with Sean to deliver the food that had been donated during the food drive that was taking place at the event, and we were able to drop that food off at the food bank in town. So once all the food was unloaded, it was finally time for me to hit the road back home. And even though it was on the last day of the event, I did get the winter conditions that I was looking forward to at Winter Wonderland at Windrock. Big thanks to Sean and all the volunteers who put on the event, and thanks for everyone who helped me put the truck back together. It was very helpful. So if you ever get a chance to do Winter Wonderland at Windrock, definitely take the opportunity. It's a great event where you get to meet a lot of great people and do a lot of great wheeling.